Hello, welcome to YMS's Parent Canvas event. My name is Lori Donatelli and I'm the Instructional Innovation Coach here at YMS. And that's a really fancy title to just say that I support our teachers and students in all things educational technology. Supporting us this evening is Mr. Meadows, our school principal. The purpose of this presentation is to help you become more comfortable using Canvas to support your student. We're also going to cover a little bit in Aspen, as well as that was a most asked and requested topic on the sign-up sheet this evening. A quick reminder while we are in this session, please keep your microphones muted, and if you have a question, please use the chat during our session. And I would ask that you keep your questions directed towards Canvas and Aspen. If you have an individual question about a specific teacher or course, I would ask that we address that separately and not in this general forum. So our agenda for this evening, let's cover accessing Canvas, functions of an observer, what you can and can't do as an observer of a course, finding assignments, assessments, and etc., navigating the grade book, both Aspen and Canvas, and the difference between Canvas and Aspen. So let's get started with accessing Canvas. There are 3 ways that you can access Canvas. You can use the YCSD homepage, you can download the YCSD mobile app, and you can download the Canvas parent app. So let's go through each of these. First, if we're accessing Canvas from the YCSD main website, you'll notice that there is a little icon over here in the Stay Connected section. And that icon that you see is the Canvas logo. Sometimes things do shift around a little bit in this Stay Connected section, so that logo may not always be in the bottom center, but it will always be that specific logo. When you click on it, it takes you to this page. This is where your student logs in to access Canvas, and you can access it through the parent login. You'll also notice that there are links to resources available to you. You could also download the YCSD mobile app. When you do, you'll notice that not only can you access Canvas, but your students can access Canvas here as well. This is just a great app to have to keep you in the loop and informed on all things YCSD. Finally, you can also download the Canvas Parent mobile app. You'll notice this one says Canvas Parent. There's also one that says Canvas Student. I have an iPhone, so my little screenshot here is from the Apple Store, but it is available for Android, so anywhere that you get your apps on your mobile device, you can download the Canvas Parent app. So let's go back. One of the easiest ways, especially if you're on a desktop or a laptop, is to access Canvas through that parent login button on the main YCSD page. When you click parent login, this is where you will log into your account anytime you wish to see what's going on in Canvas. If you do not have a Canvas account yet, you can click at that top right corner where it says click here for an account. However, it's important to know that you must have a student pairing code to go with it before you can actually set up your account. I'm going to walk you through how to get your student pairing code, and then when you have it, you're just going to fill out this window, and when you hit start participating, you'll be connected with your child. So let me walk you through how to get that student pairing code that you'll need here at the bottom. It's important to realize that this is actually your student's account that you need to access to get that student pairing code. This is just a generic account that I use when I'm trying to demonstrate something in a student account. You would see your student's name and initials here. So when your child has logged into their Canvas account, they'll click on that account icon in the top left, and then click on Settings. When they do, this page will appear, and you'll see over here on the right side it says Pair with Observer. When you click on that button, it will give you a pairing code. Notice that it says it will expire in 7 days or after 1 use. So you do want to make sure that you click on that Get Code and then use the code right away, or you'll have to go back in and generate a new one if you delay in that process. It'll also expire after 1 use. So if you have multiple parents who want to observe with their own Canvas account, you are just going to have your child go in after you've set up your first one. You're going to generate a new pairing code by clicking on that same button that you just hit, and it'll give you a second pairing code that you can use to register a second parent account. So then you're going to go back to that York County page. You're going to click on that parent login and go back to click for an account. And here is where you're going to put down that code that you either copied or wrote down from the student pairing code page. If you have multiple children, just choose one for the initial pairing. I am going to show you how to add additional students to your account if you have multiple children in the YCSD school division. Once you have set up your account, you will find yourself here on the dashboard. Up here it says Notification Preferences, so if you click on that, it will take you through your preferences for how you want to be notified for different events and activities in Canvas. This dashboard is a universal term. When your student logs into Canvas, they see a dashboard as well. Canvas does a nice job of organizing the courses on the dashboard specifically for parents and observers. You'll see that you have the course name at the top, and it will tell you which student you are observing. So if you have multiple students in the school division and you have them all on your dashboard, it will say observing and then your child's name, so you'll know whose class it is. Again, this is just that generic name that pops up for this generic account. Other things you'll see here on the dashboard, you'll see the coming up area. So this is anything that's coming up for your students. It might be a test or an assignment or a notification, and anywhere that you see that blue, you can click on it and it'll actually open up and you can see more information about that assignment. You can also view grades. This is a very tricky misnomer. The View Grades button will show you the assignments that you have available to view, but it really and truly is not your official grade. We'll talk about that a little bit more as we go on, but viewing grades in Canvas is not the most accurate. This is really just a place to see assignments and feedback as well for different assignments. Again, we talked about adding another student to your account. So this time, if you want to add, since you've already created your account, you will go into your account icon and you'll see an option that says observing, and here you can add as many student pairing codes as you need. So you'll still go through that process of going into your student account and clicking on that pair with observer, and then you'll just go in here to your account and add as many pairing codes as you need to. It'll actually show you a list here of all the students that you're observing as you continue to add them. So what can you do as an observer? I hope that you notice right away that all of this over here for what observers can do is view. The primary function of an observer is to view things. So very little interaction. You can't really do much, you can only see. So observers can view and read announcements. You can see the assignments index. You can view the calendar. I just showed you the dashboard. If a teacher has created a discussion board, you'll be able to read the discussion board, but you won't be able to actually interact with it. You'll be able to see grades, assignment due dates, comments, feedback, on assignments. You'll be able to go through the modules just as your child does. You'll be able to look at pages, you can see the syllabus, and you can see the quizzes index page, which just shows you an overview of all the quizzes available. You cannot comment or engage with the announcements or discussions. You don't have the ability to submit assignments or quizzes or even to view the quiz questions. You also cannot view the course rosters or send conversation messages to another student. If a file or folder is locked, that will be something inaccessible to you, and you may not join groups. I do want to point out here, while there are some functions of messages available to you, it is really best to use the YCSD email account if you wish to contact your child's teacher. So one of the biggest benefits of Canvas is that you can go look for the assignments and view the assignments that are missing or coming up. So again, when I'm on that dashboard, which I can get to anytime by clicking on this dashboard icon, I will click on View Grades. When I do, the first thing I'm going to see is these are my student accounts that I've linked. So again, student A, classroom 6 is really your student's name. So your child's name would appear here, and then the course. It will show you the overall grade that's in in Canvas right here. But remember, that is not an accurate grade from Aspen. This is only where you're going to look for assignments. Aspen is where you're going to check the actual grade. There are lots of assignments that teachers may put in Canvas that are practice assignments or something that's just a quick check that your students, that your teacher may want to assign just to see how students are doing, but it may not be a grade that will actually count towards their grade. It happens all the time in the physical classroom, but when we're here in this virtual world, Canvas wants to add everything to the gradebook. So that's why you're going to see that difference. So really, the only purpose here is you're going to click on one of these courses that you see that's linked so that you can see the actual assignments. So when I click on that science course, here I now see all of the assignments from that course. You can quickly see the score that your student has earned. You can see the name of the assignment, and because it's a blue link, you'll be able to click on this and it'll actually open up and you can view the assignment as your student has seen it. You won't be able to submit anything, but you will be able to view it as your child has. I love this feature in Canvas. These little status icons are very helpful to let you know what is missing or late when it's turned in. So this one has no status and it's graded, so that means that this was turned in by the due date and there were no issues with it. This assignment is missing. That means that the due date has come and gone and the assignment was never turned in. You also will see a little late icon, and that's something that was turned in after the due date, but it was still turned in. You can toggle between all of the classes for this child by clicking on this little down arrow, or if you wanted to arrange these by module or due date, there are different ways that you can kind of organize this view. Over here, you'll also see this little comment icon. This means that your child's teacher provided written feedback for that assignment. So when you click on it, a comments icon section will open up and you'll be able to read what your child's teacher wrote as feedback for that assignment. You'll also see who the teacher is. It'll be date and time stamped, so you'll know when that feedback was given. When you click on the home button of any one of those courses that you are viewing, you'll be able to see the recent announcements at the top. There are none listed here, but your students, teachers are using these announcements on a pretty regular basis, so you'll be able to go in and see what announcements have been recently posted for your child. When I'm looking at the module view, this is where your child works throughout the week. So each module is kind of labeled here with this darker gray bar, and this is the topic and the date for this module. So here are your learning targets, and this is for the entire week, and that's what the intentions are for the learning for that week. So what your child's teacher has said you should be able to do, or what you should know by the end of the week. Each teacher should have the module broken up by day so that students can easily identify what it is that needs to be accomplished on each given day. These little icons show you what this is in the module. So this particular icon is a page, which represents a Canvas page, which is where a teacher has included text or video or some sort of direct instruction. It's a vehicle for delivering information. This icon with the little pencil is an assignment. You'll also see that the assignments come with a little due date and how many points it's worth. You'll see that this was another assignment, and down here, this little rocket icon indicates a quiz. It is important to know that the word quiz does not always mean a traditional quiz. In Canvas, a quiz is just an assignment that is. So the difference between Aspen and Canvas, that's a big question this year. We have Aspen, why do we need Canvas? So I hope that going through this will help clear up some of that confusion. So Aspen is where you're going to check your students' individual grades. If you want to see what their grades are for a specific course, you should go to Aspen. This is also where you want to check for missing work. Again, Canvas, some of those assignments won't go into Aspen as an official assignment that got graded. And so you really want to make sure that you are checking Aspen for that missing work. If there's something in Aspen that doesn't have a grade or has a 0, that's where you want to start in making up work. If you want to know what your child has for a quarterly average at any given point, again, you're going to head to Aspen to see exactly what it is that their official grade is. Aspen is the legal grade book of record. The state requires every school division to have a legal grade book, and Aspen is ours. So when we are talking about where to check grades, it's very important that Aspen is your official go-to. Canvas is where you're going to see your students' modules and see the specific assignments. So Aspen is telling you what they got on the assignment, but if you want to know what the assignment was and actually see what they were supposed to do, you're going to go to Canvas. This is where you're going to view those announcements to keep up with what's coming up and major events in the course. Canvas also allows a more rich feedback for assignments, and so your students' teachers are able to give detailed feedback. They're able to comment in ways that we couldn't do with Aspen, and so really finding that feedback and finding the comments and the deeper understanding from assignments comes in Canvas. So when we talk about accessing Aspen, let's go over just the general overview. When you first log in to Aspen, you'll see over here you have your recent activity, and you can change how frequent the recent activity is. So this one is set as the last 7 days. You can also change what you want to see in this quick view. So you can leave attendance checked, and that means that if a child is absent, that absence will show up here in that recent activity, as well as recent grades. The tab that you're going to probably be most concerned with is the one that says Academics. So when you click on Academics, you'll see one of your children come up here in this student box by default. If you have multiple students in your family, in the school division, you'll be able to click on that little drop down arrow and you'll be able to toggle between those different students. Overall, this quick view, you'll see their term performance. So that means whatever quarter we're on, that's their quarter average. You'll see the description means which course it is. When you click on one of those courses that you see in that previous view, you'll see an overview of details. This will show you their average for each category. So independent practice is what they're doing kind of on their own. Every high school credit course has a quarterly assessment. You'll also see quizzes and tests. So this will show you just kind of that quick view as to how they're doing in each different area. If you want to see each individual assignment and how they are doing on that, you're going to want to click on the Assignments tab. Here you'll see the assignment name. You'll see when it was due. And you'll see the score that they received. If you wanted to go to the next course for this student, you can easily use these little arrows to move back and forth. So within that one child, you'll be able to click on that next button and see the next course laid out with the same assignment view here as well. If I want to get back to my overall view where I was able to see all of my child's classes at once, I click on that classes view and it'll take me back to that page right here. I can also change a few settings. If I click on the Family tab, down here at the bottom, you'll see an icon that says Notification. I have a slightly different view, so you may not have all of these options, but you should definitely have Notification. When you click on that, you can change what types of notifications that you get within Aspen. If you want notified every time your child is absent, you'll click on this little subscribe button and you will get an email to your provided email address anytime that your child is absent or misses a course. You can also enable the grades email notification, and you can change what your grade threshold is. This is a fantastic feature. Whatever grade that you have deemed appropriate or acceptable for your family, you enter that score, and then you will get a notification via email anytime your child gets a grade below that number. So for example, in this one here, anything below a 70 is going to trigger an email to your email address. It'll let you know that your child has scored below the grade threshold, and you can go in and check on Aspen. You can change that to be anything you'd like. There are some parents who might leave it at 70. You can make it as high as you'd like it to be. If they get anything less than 100, you can be notified. And that's something you can go in and change. So if you're finding that you're getting way too many notifications because you set it maybe a little too high, you can always go back in and check it and change it later. Middle school is hard enough as it is, and adding this virtual component is definitely upping the ante a little bit. But there are some strategies that you can try to help stay current and make sure that your child is keeping up with their courses. So the first suggestion is to log in and check Aspen at least once a week. I know that it's a little cumbersome. It really does work best on a laptop or on a desktop so that you can really see the big picture, but it does still work on a mobile device. Check at least once a week. And check with your student. Talk to your student about what's going on. Ask your student about their classes. Ask them about their assignments and upcoming tests. And really look over that missing work together. Log in to Aspen with your child and use that as a talking point and say, it looks like you're missing some assignments, or it looks like maybe your grades are slipping a little bit. Are you how can I help you? And it really kind of offers up that chance to discuss that with your student. And probably the biggest proactive way is to make a list. So when you log into Canvas and you look at that coming up section, use that to make a list of the things coming up for that week, and then post that list somewhere that you and your child would check it daily. For our family, that would be the refrigerator, right in the center of the kitchen, so that we would all see it regularly. And then you can check in each day and say, here's what you had coming up, did you finish it? And you can check that list off together. I have included these links to some different resources. These are some fantastic resources that you may find helpful as you continue to dig into Canvas and Aspen. And if you have any other questions or concerns, please don't hesitate to reach out to me from that technology standpoint of Aspen and Canvas. If you have specific questions about grades or how your child's teacher post grades or things like that, please reach out to that individual teacher. Thank you all so much for giving up your time to support your children in this new venture of Canvas and Aspen.